Hello, hello, welcome back. So this little demo is going to be talking about the clip feature for your vector applications. Clip feature is a great way to relieve the headache of having too much data. Too much data? Yes, too much data. Again, this is going to be a vector application. There are raster capabilities as well, but we're still focusing on vector. So for this example, I am looking at saline wetlands. This is data that I got from the state of California. So because it's from the state of California, it takes up the entire state. So you can see this big gray blob here is all of my data for my saline wetlands layer, my vector layer. Let's go ahead and open that attribute table. All right, it's going to take a while because it's a giant file. Here we go. Okay, so this is mapping all of the different saline wetlands within the state of California. As we see here, there are 63,000 records. 63,000 records. That's a lot to handle. Well, I was only hired by the County of San Mateo, or maybe the City of Burlingame, whoever your client is. So I don't need to know about the saline wetlands that are in the Mojave Desert or in, Southern Cascades or whatnot. You can go ahead and poke around here if you want and see some interesting information. Again, I'm talking about these are all lots of government codes that you'd find with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, so on and so forth. Some links to the Jepson ecosystem. That's the Jepson, it's the big handbook that botanists use in the field. Tells you what county, all right? And then also our shape area and shape length that tells us how big these blobs are, okay? So again, 63,000 records. We don't need to know all this. This is too much, okay? Because we're only looking at San Mateo County. So again, all this gray is all of my data for my saline wetlands, and this tiny little pink piece here is going to be my city layer. Open this up here. And it's going to be only 64 features because this is looking at cities within San Mateo County, okay? So some of them are incorporated, but a lot of them are going to be like Woodside, and Redwood City, and Half Moon Bay, and, Olympic Country Club. All these ones I didn't know. San Carlos, apparently the city called Skylonda, sure. Anyways, so we don't need all this data. So we're going to go ahead and go to your vector tab. You're going to go to geoprocessing tools. You're going to go to clip. So what the clip tool does is it says, okay, you've got two layers. Let's clip the big one so it matches the smaller one. Okay, again, we're making data more digestible. So our clip, okay. My input layer is what is it that I need to clip? What's too big, okay? Well, my saline wetlands is way too big. I don't need the entire California, that's too much, okay? My input layer is the thing that I want to make smaller, and my overlay layer is what's the one that I want it to fit. So I only care about the saline wetlands that are within San Mateo County. The rest of it can go away. So my overlay layer is that city one here. I'm not going to rename it. You can. I just leave it and rename it layer. If you want to, here I can rename it. We'll call it SMC Wetlands. Sure. Just so you can see what it's like. Okay. All right. And then we hit run. We are going to get an error message. I'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, it's very Grammy. Okay. This is why I don't bother with it. We're not going to worry about that then. Okay. So the error message we see here is that there is no spatial index for the input layer. So that's another tool you could do to make an input layer. For this demo, it still works, so we're not going to worry about it. But this does mean that you're going to have, it took a lot longer than the other ones for one, and potentially other types of analysis will be stunted because you won't have a spatial index. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that. Okay, so now I have this new lovely little layer over here. All right, let's go ahead and turn my saline wetlands off. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into here. And there you go. I don't know why it's purpley pink. They should choose a better color. Here, make it, I don't know. I'll make it a pretty color. Something a little more stand out. Neon green, sure. I just want to stand out more. Okay, so again, here's my giant state of California. I only want the stuff that's going to be within San Mateo County. So if I turn off my giant California, You can see that my clipped layer now matches my San Mateo County, and we can zoom in, right? And now if I open the attribute table here, now it's only 236 records, which is much more manageable. We still have the same information. It still talks about the estuary tides and which one is in my Jepson handbook, but it's all going to be within San Mateo County and Santa Clara because there's some city overlap here, but mostly San Mateo County, okay? So we've just clipped a big file to match a smaller layer. We only care about that data. We can discard the rest of it, so it helps us focus our project. And that is the power of your clip tool. There you go.